While Jesus was in Galilee, he must have told his 11 special friends to go to Jerusalem and wait for him there. For the next time we hear of them, they are in a room in the city, probably the same upper room where they ate the Last Supper together, and Jesus is eating together with them again.
Things are very different now. The cross is past. So is the resurrection. Jesus has died and risen again. He is alive forevermore. All power in heaven and earth is his, and no one can take it from him. But while Jesus is strong, his disciples are weak, far too weak for the great burdens they will have to carry when he has returned to heaven. So he urges them to wait in Jerusalem until they receive the promise of the Father.
What is the promise of the Father? It is something the Father wants to give them because they have so faithfully followed his Son. It is something that will change them suddenly from ordinary men, fishermen, tax gatherers, and the like, into mighty men of God, brave, tireless, powerful preachers of the gospel.
John baptized with water.
Jesus tells them,
But before many days you shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit.
Still thinking about the kingdom, they ask,
Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? It is not for you to know times or seasons which the Father has fixed by his own authority.
He answers,
But you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you.
Will the coming of the Holy Spirit mean the setting up of the kingdom they have hoped for so long? No. The Holy Spirit will bring them the strength, wisdom, and courage to preach the gospel of the kingdom to people who have never heard of it.
You shall be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria, and to the end of the earth.
Here was a new idea indeed. How could a little group of poor, humble, uneducated fisherfolk witness in the very city where the priests and rulers had put Jesus to death? And how could they, without money or possessions of any kind, carry the gospel to the uttermost parts of the earth? How could the Holy Spirit, the promise of the Father, make such things possible?
Still wondering what Jesus could mean by these strange words, they walk with him once more to the Mount of Olives. This time they do not stop at the Garden of Gethsemane, but climb on up to the top. Their pace is slow, for something tells them that he is going to leave them soon, and they want to keep him as long as they can. Now Jesus is looking at them all with a special tenderness in his eyes. The hour of parting is at hand. He loves these dear men, every one of them. He has lived with them for more than 3 years. He knows how much they have given up for him, and how much they will soon have to suffer as they witness in his name.
Dear Peter, dear James, dear John, and Thomas too, bless him, despite his doubts, and Matthew, Philip, and all the rest, such good men and true, with all their faults.
Bless you, everyone,
I can hear him saying, and there are tears in his voice. Suddenly they notice that he is rising into the air. He is going away. Yes, up he goes, farther and farther, until at last a cloud receives him out of their sight.
Farewell,
they cry.
Farewell, dear Master.
Perhaps they wave their hands, then wipe their eyes. He has disappeared, but still they look, peering into the depths of space, hoping against hope that they may catch one more glimpse of him. But he has gone, and the dreadful thought comes to them that he may have gone for good. A desperate sadness fills their hearts. Then, of a sudden, they notice 2 strangers standing near them, both dressed in white. Who can they be?
Ye men of Galilee,
say the strangers,
why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Now they know. These two men must be angels sent by their beloved Master to comfort their hearts with the promise that someday he will come back again. How kind, how thoughtful of him. On his way to the glory land, with all the shining host of heaven around him, he has remembered his friends left behind on earth. They hurry back to Jerusalem with great joy. All sadness gone, they are continually in the temple praising and blessing God, so glad that this same Jesus, their own Jesus, will return. How comforting is this blessed hope!
And what a beautiful hope it is, even today. This same Jesus is indeed coming again. The very same Jesus who healed the sick, raised the dead, loved the children, and told such beautiful stories is coming again. The same dear Jesus of Nazareth, Capernaum, and Cana, who did so many kind deeds for the poor and needy, who was always so gentle and gracious and good, is coming again. It will not be another Jesus, a different Jesus, but this same Jesus. Time will not have aged or altered him, for he is the same yesterday and today and forever. When he comes back down that shining pathway through the skies, it will be the same Jesus who went away, unchanged by the changing years. We shall know him by the smile on his face, by the sweet melody of his voice, and by the marks of the nails in his hands.